This is amazing. In studio, Mike Santana. It's a long time coming, man. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. What's good?
Of course. We've been talking about doing this for a very long time.
Yep.
And I feel like these things have a way of working themselves out where the right time is the right time. And, man, it feels like the right time for you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a firm believer in, everything happens when it's meant to happen.
Right.
So here we are.
Man, I was so happy. I think it was Battleground, the NXT show that you popped up on just in that backstage, not announced, backstage promo. And like, just as, somebody that's been a fan of yours, followed your career, I'm like, yeah, there he is. Like, yes, here we go.
Yeah.
To watch it, and I mean very quickly, go from this promo, because I was going, I love this. And then I go, let's see what the NXT people react. Because as you know, there's a lot of WWE NXT fans.
Oh, of course.
That's all they watch.
Yeah.
And if you're not on WWE, if you're not on NXT, it's like, we'll get to know you, but we don't know who you are. And to watch after Battleground, like so quickly, the Orlando crowd, like the NXT fans, kind of instantly took to you.
It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. It was a huge eye opener. Like, I guess it was that moment of like, oh, I'm doing something right. But like you said, going back to the fans, like they're so loyal, right?
Yeah.
And some of them just watch that. So to have this, I guess, connection right when I walk in the door I appreciate it.
Well, I think it's also something where, like, I mean, you grew up a super fan, right, of professional wrestling?
Absolutely.
So when we're growing up, a lot of these characters and the ones that we love were so over the top and such characters. And you, like Santana, you're so rooted in just who you are as a human being.
Absolutely.
That I think that there are a few people who, like, there's just something about it, that your authenticity is what makes this instant connection. Where it's like there is no character, there is no, I mean, you're entering in from the crowd or what, but it feels like you are entering in from the crowd. There's no gimmicks, there's no, it's just you kind of representing who you are as a human.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
But in wrestling form.
Yeah, getting into wrestling, that was something that was that I've always wanted to do. Just represent myself, represent where I come from and my culture, So growing up, my favorite wrestler was Bret Hart. I've made this very known. Bret was the guy that I looked at, that he wasn't a comic book character.
Yeah.
He spoke about his roots, where he came from, his family, and wanting to be the best. And that was something that stuck out to me a lot.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, how does a Puerto Rican kid from the Bronx go like, Bret's my guy?
So,
but I guess it's the authenticity, right?
Yes, the authenticity. It was more of like, I looked at him and I was like, oh, I could actually do that. Like, I could be like that guy.
That's interesting, because you're looking at, like, insane characers going, I don't relate to that. I don't know what that is.
Exactly.
I don't know what an Undertaker is. I don't know what
but I know what family is.
Right.
I know what, what culture is and stuff like that. So, that definitely stuck out to me.
And to see him, I also think the journey with Bret, and it's not dissimilar from your journey, right? But the idea, even going to the tag team, to the singles, but the fact that we saw Bret on this journey goes like, oh no, he's our guy. So when he makes it, we watched him make it. We made it with him.
Yes. And that's how I feel. I've taken my people with me everywhere that I've gone. Since the very beginning, I was looking through my. First of all, I think it's kind of ridiculous that I have 27,000 pictures on my iPhone. It's literally like my entire life.
Yeah.
And I was going back and looking at old pictures, and I found my very first headshot that I took, my 8x10, and it's literally in front of a white wall in my bedroom, and I have the Puerto Rican flag.
Wow.
So it was like, this has been rooted in me since the beginning, and I've always wanted to just represent my people and where I come from, and the fact that I get to do that on such a grand stage and it be authentic, because it is who I am.
I also love that, like you're going to the main event at TNA's biggest show, Slammiversary this year. It's on Sunday. It's at the UBS Arena here in town, but it'll also be on pay-per-view. I like seeing TNA guys also being there, because it goes back to the journey and everything. And I mean, you being a part of LAX, there was a period of time before you guys went to AEW, like, and I don't know if people even remember, there was this thing of like, you had built momentum as a tag team. Like this tag team act was like, no. Like there were people going like, this is the tag team in wrestling right now. To the point where I think there were rumors that like before you guys decided to go to AEW, that there was talk of possibilities of you guys coming into NXT or WWE.
Yes, there was. There was when our contract was coming up with TNA, that first go around, WWE reached out and we were having conversations, but then also like we had just done the first Jericho cruise and we met Cody and the Bucks and everyone, and we got to wrestle the Bucks for the first time, and then you started hearing the rumblings of the AEW, and it wasn't official yet, it wasn't announced yet, but then out of nowhere I got a text from Cody and he's like, it's real and it's happening. And
is that all the text said?
Yes.
That's a very Cody thing to do.
Yes. It was like, it's real, it's happening, and we want you guys a part of it.
That's awesome.
And I was like, well then, all right. And we had already spoke and all this stuff, and my word, where we come from, as you know, being a New York kid, like our word is everything. Right. So I gave Cody my word, and that's why we decided to go there first.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're also, I mean, at the time, the momentum, and it was coming off the heels of like, the Young Bucks and Kenny and everything that the Bullet Club had done was huge. But watching Cody do this thing, that run that he had post WWE and like showing what was even possible, to be a part of that momentum at that time, it was, I mean, there's no way you didn't want to be one of Cody's guys.
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that he reached out to me personally. Right. And he was the one that was like, yes, we want you guys a part of this. Like, it meant a lot, And
maybe that's another New York thing, too, because I feel like a lot of times it's like, no, this person is showing me that they want me. And that level of connection is like, that's where I should be. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to be where I know I'm wanted, and that guy said he wants me to be there.
Yep. And then also just the immense respect I had for him for doing what he did.
Yes.
And betting on himself and taking. I feel like he took everyone on this journey. Yeah. The same way that I'm doing now. So, yeah, man, it was a crazy time. It was definitely a crazy time. And when we were having the talks with WWE that first go around, like, I was very honest. I was very like, hey, this is by that point, I guess it had already been announced, and I was like, listen, we gave our word, and our word is everything. Yeah. And they respected it.
That's cool.
So
that's cool. Yeah. But it is still a gamble, and I feel like you specifically have taken a lot of gambles and a lot of bets on yourself in the last several years. Yeah. But like, AEW is just starting. WWE is the spot, especially at that. WWE is the only goal for a lot of people. For you guys to be like, we're not going to do that that thing, and also especially for you who grew up, you're a Bret Hart fan, you're a wrestling fan. That's literally the childhood dream. Yep. And you're like, I think we're going to do this unproven startup. Yeah. Yeah. That had to be a
It was a time. Yeah. Yeah, it was a time. And also, like, I was like, man, if we do this thing and it succeeds and it becomes something, our names will forever be there. Right. And that legacy will forever be there. Right. We were in the very first main event of the very first Dynamite. Right. My name will always be there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's forever. So just thinking of things like that, right? And also WWE ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's right. When they say they're then, now, forever, they mean that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and if you have the opportunity to increase your value,
exactly,
it could be good news later on.
Exactly. And that was also the mindset of like, hey, let's do this and let's see how this goes, and if we could grow and become even bigger stars or whatever, and then we do what we got to do.
So then, to me, I mean, the next kind of mega gamble, and I think this was the I think bigger than choosing AEW. I think bigger than asking for your AEW release. Yeah. I think the gamble was splitting up the team. Yeah. And going like, I'm going to be a singles guy, because it's like,
Yeah.
You know, at wrestling fans, they don't even know. They know who Santana is in the context
Of course.
LAX or Ortiz and Santana, but they don't know who you are as a singles wrestler. And the tag team had gotten so over. Like, it was, you know what I mean? So how did you come to the conclusion, not just, I think I want to do this, but like, no, I'm doing this. I have to do this.
Yeah. Fear. Fear of that fear of the unknown, that fear of it could work, it could not. That's what drove me. I said I had to do it because I fear it. And also just having this like belief, this unwavering belief in myself, especially after what I had went through with my injury and going to rehab and getting myself right. It was like I legit made myself the very best version of myself. There's no way that I'm not going to bet on that.
That's interesting. So it was like injury recovery and then sobriety.
Yeah.
And changing yourself.
Yeah.
That was kind of the catalyst of being like, no, I have to all around kind of live my life how I think I should be doing it.
Absolutely. And also, you know, going back to the business side of things, it was like, you know, things weren't really happening there, you know, for us, and things were very stagnant, and that's just not the way I like to live my life. And also that whole issue of the not being happy and dealing with the stagnant environment, it also contributed to the addiction aspect.
Sure.
Because I was just unhappy, right? It was a mix of, you know, losing my dad and being unhappy at work and dealing with my personal thing. It was just a whirlwind of things. And I was just like, I'm not going to come back to a situation that got me in that situation in the first place.
That's exactly right. And I'm sure when you finally feel, and when you came out of rehab, did you feel like this is clicking?
I'm ready to go.
Right.
Yeah. When I came out of rehab, I was just like, it's on.
And so then when you get into anything that feels similar to what it was before, I would imagine you're instantly like,
I don't even allow it.
Right.
I do not put myself in any kind of situation that I feel is going to jeopardize my sobriety, jeopardize my state of mind. I don't have time for it.
Did you have people around you saying like, you don't want to break up the team?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, bro. It was a lot. It was, you know, online. Of course, they came at me, bro. Like, they were like, the lynch squad came, legit. And, you know, but it was all part of the process. It was like, I knew that that's how it was going to be because, like you said, we were so successful and so established, right? And no one knew me as this thing that I'm about to go on. And I was just like, yo, this is all part of the process. Let me get through it. I got to continue proving. And if there's one thing that I trust about myself is that I'm always going to prove. I'm always about the work, you know? So, and that, I didn't steer away. I was just like, let's go.
So you were ready for it to be difficult at first. Like, it wasn't like you figured, I'm going to break up this tag team, I'm going to be world champion.
No. I knew what I was going to go through.
Yeah.
I knew that there was going to be a lot of doubters. And that's cool. But at the end of the day, that's outside noise. Right?
Yeah.
As long as you maintain your belief and you maintain your state of mind, it's all good.
But you also have to get to a place where, like, you're comfortable with a long-term plan.
Yes.
And long-term planning can be extremely difficult.
Yes.
Because every day there's something being like, oh, I don't know if this is working. I don't know if this is working.
But also, it was like that with the tag team too, you know, because like, the good thing about me taking this gamble was that I wasn't starting from scratch. I was starting from experience now. So when I decided to do all this, it was like, okay, I have all this this prior experience of becoming successful. So let me just apply that to now myself and pretty much follow the similar path that I did with the tag team.
Right.
And it's worked.
That's right, because it's not like the tag team was this instant success. You guys built and built and
for
built.
years. Yeah, before, I mean, we became a tag team in 2011. We didn't get signed till 2017.
Right.
You know, so there was a path there.
But it's interesting because I think a lot of people feel like, well, I paid my dues then, so I should get credit for all of it and go right to you knew.
No, yeah, I knew, and that was part of the excitement. That was part, like,
I get to go through that again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer of it's about the journey. And I love the journey. And I embrace it and I thrive in it. Like, I've always, when I say like I thrive in the pressure, I mean that. And I knew what I was going to have to go through, and it was part of the excitement.
And it's also gotta feel so good and stable when you know that you end up at a place of success that you know you've earned.
Oh, 100%.
That you know it's not like, oh, I've only been singles for 3 months, but they're throwing me into a main event. Like, let's just see. Like, you know, every single bit of equity has been earned.
And I've said this before, in professional wrestling, nobody deserves anything. We earn it. And I feel like I've earned everything.
Yeah.
You know, I've put in the work. Did I expect it to happen like this? And because when you think about it, I came back to TNA in April of 24.
Right.
And here we are, I'm about to main event. So not a lot.
In an arena.
Not a ton of time, right?
Right.
But
by the way, in an arena that is being promoted by an NXT television show that you're a huge part of, right? Like, there's no way those
100%.
that doesn't line up.
Yeah. So I was like, man, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
And I have done something right. And also, you know, to give props to my family, man, who have supported me through all this, because, you know, my grandmother was like, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And her whole thing is she cares about my stability, right? And the fact of me being able to support my daughter and maintain a life, right? But there was just something that she saw where she was like, yeah, you have to do it now.
Wow. And when grandma said,
I was like, that's it. It's over.
Do you think that going through the amount of negativity that you went through in your life, losing your dad, having to go, you know, struggling with addiction, because you were struggling with addiction for what, like 3 years, do you think going through that personal journey and the injury, I mean, that going through all of that makes it easier on the other side to kind of be patient, and when things like that, like now, you know, having to wait whatever a couple of years before you've really established yourself as a single star is probably not terribly difficult compared to the kind of hell that you were going through for years.
100%. And I, unfortunately, I had, like, those things were terrible, right? It was hell. But looking back on it now and where I'm at in my life, I needed all those things. I needed to go through all those things in order to get here, have the drive to get here, and also appreciate where I'm at, you know. And I'm thankful. Even as far as, like, I wish my father was here every day. I think about him every day. I talk about him every day. That's my way of keeping him here. And but I say, like, he made the ultimate sacrifice for me to wake up and fix my life.
Because you needed to experience that loss.
Yes.
To go, like, well, now,
which is crazy to think about.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But also, you know, I think healthy, and, like, I have kids. Like, if you told me later in life I needed to do that to get my kid right, done.
Yeah, and me knowing the kind of man that my father was, if you would have told him that, let's go.
Right.
Let's do it.
Man, that's a wild thing to consider. So now it's almost like, and that also puts added pressure on you, which, as you said, you thrive in pressure, which is like, if I don't keep my shit together, then he just went through the ultimate sacrifice for nothing, because I can't keep my shit together.
Exactly. And the same thing with my daughter is, like, I take so much pride in being the person that she could look up to and say, yo, if my papi did it, I could do anything in the world. I made this, like, what seems like an impossible dream. I made it happen.
Yeah.
You know, and she gets to see that and live that every day. So to me, that's it. That's everything.
And I think it's interesting. How old is she?
She's 11.
So she's 11, right? So she's at the age now where it's still, she's just kind of getting to be an adult and a person. I think when you're young, it's like look what my dad did. He came from where we come from.
Yeah.
He's got an action figure.
Yeah.
He's on TV. He's on this. I think in just a couple years, she's going to be a little older and say, like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what he went through as a human being.
Yes.
Like, going through all that, that's the superhero stuff.
Yes.
Like,
and also, this is why I'm also very open about my struggles and open about the experiences that I went through, because media is going to last forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Media is always going to be around. So for her to be able to get older and show her kids, like, listen, this is what he did. This is what he went through. And I'm very conscious of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that, like, 20, 30 years from now, my family and other people are going to be able to go back and listen to this and watch stuff like this and be like, oh, man, like, that's the realness right there, So, yeah.
So when you asked for your release from AEW, like you said, your grandma said there's money just on the table, and you didn't leave for anything in particular, right? Like,
no, I left because I needed to go on this journey.
And so you left with, like, there's money here, or you can go on this journey, but $0 is guaranteed.
Yeah.
And so was there a plan in mind?
Yeah.
When they come,
sure.
okay. So it's one thing. Also, I'm always curious about this. It's one thing to ask for a release.
Yeah.
But when it's granted, is there a moment like, oh, we got to do this now?
For me,
yeah,
I was like, yes. I thanked. I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah,
you thanked them.
Yeah, 100%. Because back when I was in rehab, when I finally detoxed myself and I started, doing the meetings and having a more clear mindset or whatever, I started developing a plan.
Wow.
Of what I was going to do.
Right.
And first off, the plan didn't even have to do with wrestling. It had to do with myself and continuing to get my mind right, get my body right, make sure that my knee is stable. So it was all those things. And then I started formulating the plan of like, okay, I already knew even before I got injured that I was going to eventually leave AEW. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, after I get my body right, get the mind right, this is the plan that I'm going to go on and that I'm going to do as far as like establishing myself and doing what I got to do to get to where I want to get to. And
did you follow it?
Every step.
Wow.
Every step.
It's a multi-year plan.
Yeah.
But you have to allow it to be that, right?
Exactly.
Like you don't...
Honestly, I didn't put years or a timeline on it.
Sure.
I just said, this is the plan. This is what I'm going to follow. However long it takes, it is what it is.
That's how long it takes.
And, but I need to follow this. And it's funny, I told maybe 4 people this plan. Mm-hmm. And right now, like 3 of those people hit me up like recently and were like, yo, it's crazy because we saw every step of the plan play out. Oh. And it was like, I told you.
And that's so great. It goes back to like deserving where you're at. It's like, no, it's by design.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I did. And but it's all based on work. It's not tricks.
All work. It's all work.
It's not tricks. It's like if this work is done, it will lead to this, which will lead to this, which will lead to this. But, between these, it's easy to say it. It could be 2 years, 3 years between each step.
And at the end of the day, my daughter needs to eat.
Right.
And she will never, over my dead body, she will ever experience anything close to what I went through. And that's, what more motivation do I need?
Because you had times growing up where you didn't have guaranteed food.
Oh, yeah. So,
and I mean, I think that also I think, I'm so thankful I never had to deal with that. Mm-hmm. But it must put a survival mechanism in you.
100%. I've lived most of my life in survival mode.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And just dealing with the reality that's in front of you and going, okay, how can we make the most? This is the reality. It is. Like, you don't have any control over that.
Yeah.
So how do you make the most out of what's in front of you?
Exactly.
So then you get to, how long did it take for you to get a deal with TNA after you were out of AEW?
A month.
Okay.
After I got released.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So all right.
But when I came back,
yeah,
right, my very first show back was Wembley Stadium. That was my very first match. After 14 months, I walked into Wembley Stadium in front of 70,000+ people.
And that makes it very difficult to stick to the plan. When you're like 70,000 and I'm wrestling on the show and this, it's who knows if I'll ever get to do this again.
Yeah.
And maybe I shouldn't leave.
And I'll give you a little insider.
Yeah.
I almost wasn't going to do that show. And I was okay not doing it because I was at a point in my life where I didn't need that. Uh-huh. I was already fulfilled. I was already, I didn't need that. And, because I had came back July. So I came back officially in August. And that July, I had a meeting with them. And I told them, listen, I want to come back. This is what I want to do. This is where I see myself. This is whatever. If that doesn't work for me here, please let me go. There's no hard feelings. There's, respect and thank you for the opportunity. But I need to go on this journey, whatever. If there's opportunity for me here, great. Let's do it, And there was a moment where like, okay, we're going to do this Wembley thing or whatever. And I was like, whoa. This is not what we spoke about here, right? And almost like...
So you spoke up and we're like, I don't know if we need to do that.
Oh, no, yeah.
Wow.
I legit...
You almost booked yourself off the show.
100%. No, I was like, I don't need to go to Wembley.
That's a wild thing for...
Yeah.
You don't get that in wrestling very often.
I was like, I'm okay. I'm good. I don't need it.
And what did they say?
They weren't happy about it.
Really? They were like, what? Yeah. Like, we're giving you this on a silver platter.
I'll tell you an exact quote. It was like, yo, there's so many people fighting to get on this show, and the one person that we want on the show doesn't want to be on the show. And I was like, I'm okay with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then you ended up on the show.
I ended up on the show because we had a conversation, and I said, all right, if I do this, this is what we got to do.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I guess when you're in that position, right, where you are truly
sticking to my guns,
and like you can take it away. Like I'm not here with anything to lose.
Nothing.
That they're like, okay, you can have what you want. Wow,
and they didn't like that.
No, why would they?
Yeah, and that's okay.
yeah, because that's not you. You don't need to make sure everybody is happy with that. You need to make sure that you're happy.
Yeah, and I made it very known that I am not coming back to the same situation that got me where I was in the first place.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Just as a human being, for your own health, for your own
exactly.
Yeah,
because that first and foremost, my sobriety is first.
Yeah. Because
without that, nothing works.
Everything goes down. Yeah.
Exactly. So I need to protect that first and foremost. So
yeah, because that's such a... Because you would think you got to go to Wembley. Except if going to Wembley comes with going back to where we were before, that comes with potentially losing what I've worked so hard for. And then... The dream is to have a career, not to just go to Wembley.
Exactly.
So if I'm going to... That's wild.
Exactly.
And that goes to the long-term thinking that I guess you really started doing.
Yes, sir.
When you got clean.
Yes, sir. It's crazy, huh?
So you had a great time at Wembley, but they were like, we don't love the way he got here.
Yeah, and that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I started getting on the indies right away. I was like, I need to get these reps. I need to get active. I need to get my name out there. I need to show I'm back.
Right.
And yeah, so I just got as busy as I could and started, booking myself everywhere. And
so you knew to an extent because you had worked on that reputation on the indies while you were still there, that when you got your release, it wasn't like you were starting from scratch. Like all the organizations, House of Glory, they knew.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll book you on the next show.
Yep.
Like there's gonna be shows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then luckily TNA is there within a month, and we're back to the races, building and building and building.
Yep.
So like, at what point? Now going towards Slammiversary, a year and a half after being back, more or less, after being back in TNA, Joe Hendry's been on this insane viral run.
Yeah.
Rumble, Mania, you know what I mean? And to the point where, and I've said this before, I thought when Trick won the championship, the whole idea was, well, yeah, I mean, Trick's going to go to Slammiversary for the rematch. And then all of a sudden, this thing started bubbling.
Not in my house.
All of a sudden, I'm like, who's this catching all this buzz now? Like, what's going on right under the surface? At what point did it become like somebody come to you and go, we're going to do triple threat. We're going to put, you're going to be part of this.
So I had a really crazy feud with Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
And it got real personal, and it got a lot of attention from everywhere. And we told a great story, and I feel like after that, feud, that's when like they were behind me.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been thankful that TNA has had such a confidence in me, and have allowed me to tell these stories, and also have the confidence and trust in certain situations and certain matches, you know, and like they saw the work.
Yeah.
They saw, you know, what I was willing to do, and you know, that initial conversation when I first came back to TNA was, listen, I want to be here, and I would love to be here, but I'm not just gonna be here. This is...
You're in that same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need to be here.
Right.
You know, if not being here is going to add more time to my plan and what I have to do, by me, let's do it.
It changes your entire perspective when you lose everything or are threatened with losing
100%.
Your life, everything.
100%.
And now it's like everything, before you go, because they're wrapping you up, has Shawn Michaels seen the work? Have you had any conversations with Shawn now that you've been in NXT?
Yeah.
What's that like?
We've had a great conversation.
That's amazing.
It's been awesome. Like
And
that first like NXT.
Yeah.
And doing the thing with Trick, he had a moment where he gets up out of his seat and pulls me to the side, and we're like this close, like in each other's, you know, and he pulls me close, and he just, what he told me in that moment, like, was all the fire that I needed.
That's awesome.
It was insane. It like it was almost surreal. Like I couldn't even, like, after it happened, I was like, oh, that happened. you know? And then a few people came to me and was like, listen, he don't get out his seat for nobody. All right. So take that for what it was and appreciate the moment, because like it meant something that he did that, and it meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
You know, especially that was initially my first time at NXT.
Right.
And he saw something. And he felt like he needed to tell me that he saw something, and we shared a great moment. We had a great conversation, like in his office and stuff, and it's been great.
It's cool, and it's also because like you get to live that duality of life, where you grew up a fan, you're a professional now, you're talking to this guy who, regardless, is a genius for the business that you could talk to as a professional, and also the guy who's running things on NXT that has just been running like fire. But then also, I'm sure there has to be that little kid.
Oh, of course.
It's going like it's HBK.
Yeah, and you know on the inside.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think one of the things that he respected most, too, was that I approach things, this is my job. This is work at the end of the day. And that's how I approach it. Like, I'm not, you know...
It's business.
It's business. And that's how I see it. And I think that's what people, I guess, respect about me, too.
I'm sure.
Know? So
I'm sure, man. I can't wait to see Slammiversary, man. It's Sunday. It's at the UBS Arena. They just opened up more tickets. They pushed the stage back to fit more people into this arena. It's just been amazing watching everything you've been doing, man. I can't say congratulations enough. I'm so happy for you. And I feel like we're going to need to have another conversation.
Oh, for sure.
Very soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Santana, thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Sam.